Welcome back to Live with RXMuscle's Iron Road to the Olympia 2017. I'm Dave Palumbo, and tonight's guest is the New York Pro Classic Physique overall champion, Breon Ansley.
Hey, what's happening?
How's it going, man?
Glad to be on again. Glad to be on again, guys. Appreciate you having me. Good to be here.
You killed it at the New York Pro a little earlier this past spring, and you turned a lot of heads, made a lot of people take notice of you. You put the Classic Physique division on notice that you were going to be coming back this year better than last year. You have what a lot of people define and call the true Classic Physique look of the division. Now we got less than 3 weeks to go before the Mr. Olympia competition. We all want to know, what's Breon Ansley bringing to the stage this year?
Well, I think I'm going to bring a harder look to the stage this year. Actually, an even more crisper look to the stage this year. Harder and crisper. Definitely a little bit more fuller as well, because we have, the 5 pounds that we were given.
Yeah.
Also, this year. So I think just an overall harder, crisper, fuller look, just overall better.
Well, almost 10 pounds of muscle gain this past year on your physique and your frame probably looks like 20 pounds on anyone else's frame.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the beauty of, the muscle maturity that I've developed, and just the training style, man, from Chris Cormier. That training style to develop a grainy, kind of a deep separation in the muscles and all that. That's the style for that look, man. And I credit him for it, and I appreciate him for helping me with this look. And so I'm really excited to showcase it for the Olympia this year.
I'm going to say this, but you not only do you have a throwback classic look to your physique, you even got the throwback hairstyle. You got the hairstyle of the 80s, 70s, 80s. You look like you could be competing with Arnold and those guys. I mean, physique-wise, and just the look of you, Do you do that purposely?
I don't do it purposely, no. I've had this hairstyle, man, for years, since, the early 2000s.
I like it. I like hair. I like hair because I have none. And I respect it, but I know a lot of black guys shave their heads, and have no hair. That's seems to have been the look for the last 10 or 15 years, is that shaved, clean, smooth look. But you don't do that. You kind of have your own style. I like it.
And then, there might be something to that. I mean, when everybody started cutting their hair and getting close fades and all that, I was nah, I want to keep it different and keep the hair. So, and now the hair is coming back.
Yeah.
With everybody. So I'd like to think that, I kept the trend and I'm setting it again for this time around.
I see Johnny put up a picture of you and Robbie Robinson. Robbie had your kind of hair back in the day. You could have been brothers with him, Unbelievable. All right, let's talk about the physique for a minute, because there's a lot of new guys coming out of the woodwork in this Classic Physique division, especially this past year. You were 4th last year at the Olympia. That was tremendous. I know you're coming back almost 10 pounds more muscular, but this year we're going to see guys like Chris Bumstead, who we didn't see last year. There's a lot of big names crawling out of nowhere and out of everywhere who want to be the next Classic Physique Olympia champ. Why should Breon Ansley be the next champ? Tell me why you're going to win this show.
Well, I just think my physique is just complete, from head to toe. I think it flows well, the proportions and the symmetry, along with just the maturity of the muscle and the development of the type of muscle. And then also, you can't forget about the way I present the muscle. Then, I'm going to go with, angling the body and, presenting it with the smile all the damn time. I think I'll be, with all that, with the personality and with the pizzazz and all that, I think I'll be a great ambassador for Classic.
You got the good teeth too, I got to tell you. You got good white teeth. That always helps as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Braces. I had braces for a few years.
Oh, you did? All right.
I just take care of these chompers, man.
That's right. I'm a tooth nut too. I'm always worried about losing my teeth, so I keep them really clean. Now let's talk about some of your main competition: Arash Rahbar, Sadik Hadzovic, Danny Hester. These are guys that beat you last year. Obviously, going into this competition, this Olympia, you want to put them in your rearview mirror, of course. You made a lot of improvements. What did you think, body part-wise, that you needed to bring up the most, and did you bring it up?
Yeah, two areas: my chest and my back, the thickness of my back, specifically. I needed to bring up this year, and I definitely think I did that for the New York Pro. Yeah, so those were the two areas of focus from last Olympia until this one for the year. Just bringing the chest up, because I lose that when I diet down, kind of the upper chest, and just the thickness of the back. Yeah.
Now, when these guys are standing on stage together, how important do you think presentation is, how you present that physique in this new division as opposed to the men's open bodybuilding, say? You think it's more important in Classic?
Yeah, absolutely. Because Classic, it's all about classic lines and classic proportions and the classic symmetry, the extreme V tapers and how the waistline inserts, and then how that hip bone and the sweep comes out from it, and where everything is placed. So yes, the classic physique, classic bodybuilding is all about the lines and the pretty separation from the for how you present the whole body. So very important.
Let me ask you a question. Waistline seems to be so important these days, especially in the classic physique division. Everyone wants a super small waist. And I know a lot of guys, I know it started with the women, but I know a lot of the guys are wearing them now, especially the men's physique guys. They're wearing these waist shapers. Do you wear one of these things?
No.
You don't?
I don't wear a waist shaper.
Well, you don't need
I
it.
just wear it. I mean, ultimately, to keep the waist small, you just need to stay away from the damn food so much in the kitchen, I think.
You think so? So you think guys overeat? You think that's why their waist gets bigger?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I think. I think people they eat too much, and especially when they diet down, and they might cheat a little bit more on their diet.
I'm not talking about body fat. I'm talking about the actual size of the musculature of the waistline. I know the guys. I know Sadik Hadzovic had told me he wears one. He wore it when he was in men's physique, and I'm sure he still wears it. And his waist is tiny. I think his waist got smaller as he got bigger, if that's even possible. So I'm sure they work, but I mean, would you recommend them for people who don't have small waists like you do?
I would just recommend them to wear their weight belt when they're lifting.
Okay.
So they can control their breathing, and so they can kind of burn, while they're burning and all that, and it's just burning all the way around, creating more. Maybe even do like the topical cream, also when you're doing cardio.
What topical creams do you use?
Generate a little bit more heat in that area.
Right. Like what kind of creams are you talking about?
What's that?
What kind of creams are you talking about?
The topical creams that generate heat in the area. Still Fit has one. The Pro-10 product, the Sweet Sweat.
Right.
But that's just a finishing toucher. On with when your body fat is low and all that type of stuff. If you're already, you have a long way to go as far as the waistline is concerned, then you don't need to worry about that for sure. But I think your hip bone structure though is already where it's going to be.
Yeah.
And then you have to just lose the weight and the fat around the area, and that's just a matter of just losing weight.
Yeah, well, people do that. people do that. I've seen guys competing against you who are much leaner than you, but they just don't have your waistline. So I know a lot of these guys will use some of these waist shapers to bring the actual physical size of their waist down. But the creams are good too. And ironically, you mentioned SteelFit, who's owned by Protan, our good friend Stacy Kaufman, who's been in here, and one of our title sponsors of the Olympia weekend. That cream does burn. It does seem to work really well. I know a lot of people that use it. He sent me some tubs of it, I should say, and my mother-in-law's been using it on her arms, and it burned some fat on there. So she was very happy with it. Now I see there's a picture here Johnny put up of you with Flex Wheeler, and this is a guy who you're going to be competing up against on that stage. Obviously, he's a legend in our sport. I'm sure he's a guy you looked up to as you were coming up in the sport. How's it going to feel to be up there on stage with him? And, obviously the goal is to beat him,
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I mean, the feeling of being on stage with him, man, in these next couple of weeks is going to feel amazing. He was the guy that I grew up, wanting to emulate, really, really admiring his physique. He's the reason why I implemented my flexibility and the splits when I do my routine, and it's just going to be wonderful. It's going to be wonderful. But you are right, Flex. I am going to have to I'm going to have to take you down, brother. I can't let you be victorious over me, though.
Now Flex won't be your friend anymore. No, I'm just kidding. But I see you on a treadmill here, a video you posted running. Now, is this something that you implement in your training protocol? Because a lot of guys won't run because they're afraid of losing muscle,
Yeah. No, I think just the opposite. I think if you want to attain a certain look and a certain level of conditioning, you got to amp it up. You got to amp it up as far as the intensity is concerned with how you burn the muscle. How you burn the fat. And how you strip that water away. So,
are you worried?
I definitely am a big advocate of sprints.
So you don't worry about losing muscle then doing that?
No. I mean, if we're eating, we're eating of sufficient protein. We're doing, we're BCAAs, we're glutamine. We're taking our muscle preservers, so we're good.
How old are you, Breon, now?
I will be 38 in November.
Oh, you're a very young-looking 38. I was gonna think you were 28, to be honest with you. So
that's good. A boy.
That's good. Yeah,
that's a boy.
All right. Well,
thank you.
You got a contract. You're working with Old School Nutrition now with our good friend Sergio Oliva Jr. How long have you been with them now?
Almost a year now, since last November.
Okay.
I've been with Old School Labs and really having a good time with them. Really enjoy them. Old School Labs is great products, and they really care about their athletes. So really having fun with them.
They take good care of you. Where are you staying when you go out to Vegas? Will you be in the Orleans, or are they putting you in a separate hotel?
I'll be at the Orleans. Okay. Yeah, I'll be at the Orleans.
All right. Well, look, you look great. I think people are going to be very shocked at what they see on stage of you, especially if they're going to compare it to what they saw last year at the Olympia. You'll be 10 pounds heavier. That's a significant amount of muscle to pack on that frame of yours. I want to wish you the best of luck. I think you have an excellent shot at winning the show, for certain being in that top three, the elite top three. And I guess we won't know what happens until Olympia weekend, but best of luck in the next 2.5 weeks, and we'll see you in Las Vegas.
Absolutely. I really appreciate it. It's going to be a show. It's going to be a lot of fun, man, and we will see you guys. Look forward to seeing you guys there.
Good luck, Breon, and that's going to take us to the end of another episode of Live with RXMuscle's Iron Road to the Olympia, brought to you by Yamamoto Nutrition and Protan. I'm Dave Palumbo, and we'll see you next time.